well, I've seen on two occasions where one woman, she had three kids, and I guess they were his children, and he kicked her out because she questioned where he was that night before. Did y'all see that video?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that video.
He kicked her and the three kids out, all because she asked him why you get home so late. There was a second video.
Skit. It was a skit. Let's not
Oh,
forget
You
that.
think that was a skit?
Yeah.
Oh no, she was
She was sitting on some white stairs right in front of the door.
Well, we can pull it up. We can no. We can pull it up. You know, I think that
throwing her clothes out the house and
he
everything.
was throwing her clothes out the house. She was like, get the baby. You know,
That stuff is fine.
and sometimes you
So
can
that's emotional though. That's some overly emotional stuff. Because even if you wanted her to leave, there's no need for you at that moment to grab her stuff and start throwing it out the window and throwing. Like, come on now. Like, this is like, come on. We gotta have more control. All right. So when you see two kids fighting, it required, like, your teenage kid don't really fight with your toddler. Somebody got to be the adult in the room. Somebody got to be the adult. Like, come on now. We can't be sitting here going back and forth, man.
Last night,
Tyrell is right. Real quick, that scenario just now. Pause.
We actually got into it over something so. I mean, it was over the TV. He has to sleep with the TV on. I don't like it on, so we go back and forth with how loud it is or whatever. We got into an argument because he was like, "See, when I'm trying to go to sleep and you have the TV up, I ask you to turn it down. You get, you don't really turn it down. But when it's me, then you expect me to do it. But I'm like, you're not really going to sleep. There's a difference." That's how, so we going back and forth for that, where I just finally was like, you know what, forget it. I'll just go in the other room and watch TV. And
I know what your problem was, mistaken.
So
I know why you telling this story. I already know what your problem is, and that's a different issue. You wanted some, that was your problem.
Are you for the sake of making up?
She wanted. You know how she be thinking.
He actually, that time he did, and I said no because I don't like drunk. I don't like it real drunk. But anyway, so I go in the other room. And he in there, and I hear the TV on. He's listening to his phone, got the TV. And I'm like, what was the point? You were saying you were going to sleep. And I got up to leave to respect the fact that this is what I would like you to do when it's me. And he was just like, nah. He was like, I was just playing with you, but you got all serious. And it was an argument for no reason. But like what Marcus was saying today, he sent me a text, was like, thank you, babe. And I'm like, for what? Just for being you. That was it. And I'm like, I thought I wasn't good, like trying to start it. He's like, I love you. I'll see you later when you get her back. And that was it. So I think that's part of being a leader, is like kind of what Marcus was saying in terms of learning how to control your emotions, right? Because if he didn't control his emotions, it would allow me to continue to be on, and not saying that I shouldn't control mine. Don't get me wrong. I can't put him on the spot. Yeah, I can't put him on the spot to say it's his responsibility to control my emotions. It's not. But the fact that he's able to control his kind of automatically puts me in a place that I end up having to control mine, is what I'm saying. So
you got the
and sometimes, Marcus, because I don't want to get too off the subject, you're absolutely right. I think that was a great solution to making sure that people are the same. But there are also scenarios on the subject about how we've seen videos also, the young lady who was pregnant, he didn't want her anymore, and we've seen that too. Just because I don't want you to mean I don't want my kid. Why you gotta be, I ain't gotta be with you, you can't keep me away from my kid. We have those scenarios too. So we have good men, like AP is mentioning, where you have arguments, and you also have men who just, and it goes back into the video, and I guess that's my first question for the men. Do you think so the scenario with the video was, do you guys need me to play it again? Just that first half, or do you want me just to? No. Okay. So, do you think that men? Oh, because he may clip it. Let me play the video again because he may clip it, and so the video needs to come. Okay. So let me just play just the first half. Okay. Is it okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
Part. You know what? I think a lot of us do say that. Like, most men, especially the men that I know, because I know a lot of guys that were raised without their father in the house, and they say, I'm gonna be a great father, I'm gonna be a great dad. But a lot of them aren't right immediately saying as well, I'm gonna be a great husband.
That's right.
So what's the
Do you think that and it goes back to the situation that you guys were seeing, the scenario, do you think that's because it's lack of presence to see how a husband would handle a situation with a wife that's being missing? Like, so when you're raised by a single mom, you don't see the dynamic between a man and a woman, how you're supposed to diffuse situation, how you're supposed to handle a situation, the relationship part, not the kid part, but the relationship part.
So most of the men that I be arguing with, well, not arguing with, but having a discussion with about why they fighting with the women, it's a weird reason that they always tell me. They always go back to they want it to be equal, we're equal, so now we gonna fight. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard that before, but I'll be like, why are you going back and forth with them? They women. Like, tell them to go, like, just like go. Like, no, I'm not about to sit here and with you all day. They be like, no, she want to be equal. We equal now, so I'm gonna fight with her. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's because they never seen men operate with women in the household. But my father died when I was real young, so I didn't see that either. Maybe I need to ask the question where I got that I'm not about to be fighting with these women from. That might be a better question. Yeah, I could probably answer that for myself. I need to think about this. Come back to me.
Marcus, so I want to say I agree with him, but I never said either one of those statements. I never really thought about either one of those statements. And in each scenario, for me, I was already a husband before there was a kid. So I was a terrible one, but it was, and most of my friends were the same. So most of them, and I never really heard them say I'm gonna be a great father. I'd hear things like I'm gonna be the best dad I can be. I guess I would have to kind of agree with the guy in the video. It may be due to a lack of that presence in the home. I know in my case there really wasn't my biological dad in the house, so that's something I'm gonna have to think on for real. For real. I'm gonna have to think on that.
Just in my opinion, I don't know, I'm not a man, but just from observation, I would think that it's easier for a man to identify saying, I'm going to be a great dad versus I'm going to be a great husband, is because as a child growing up without a father in a home, you are able to see and feel the direct impact it will have on you by not having your dad there. So you can actually feel that experience. Whereas I don't think not you don't realize that not having a man in a home in terms of saying I'm going to be a great husband, that doesn't necessarily have a direct impact on you the same way, because as a child you feel what it's like as a child to not have a father, so you say I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be a good dad, because you have direct experience. Whereas being a husband, that's kind of more a indirect experience where you would have to visually see what that looks like, and in order to say kind of like, oh, I'm going to be a great husband, I'm going to be a good husband. So I think that might be something that impacts the difference on why it's easier for a man to say I'm going to be a good father versus being a good husband.